We're going to continue our mini-series here of looking at the official studio albums of Bob Dylan. Now, in previous episodes, we looked at when he started in the 60s as a folk singer and protest singer, and then went electric and then country. We looked at him in his studio albums in the 70s. We looked at what he did in the 80s, and we looked at what he's done in the 90s. That's 4 decades of music. But in this episode, we're going to turn to the decade that starts in the year 2000 and see what Bob's official studio album output was for that decade. Are you ready? Then let's drop the needle. The decade starts on a very high note for Bob. He wins his first Oscar for the song Things Have Changed from the film The Wonder Boys. Then in 2001, he releases an album that he calls Love and Theft. And it is a huge hit, goes to number 5 in the charts. Lots of great songs on this record. My favorite is Mississippi. And if you check out some of his official bootleg releases, you can hear this song evolve as he works on it. Nonetheless, the version on this record is a gem. I also like High Water for Charlie Patton, Lonesome Day Blues, Poor Boy, and Sugar Baby. And then Bob releases an autobiography, and he teases that it's going to be the first of a series. It's called Chronicles, Volume 1. It's a very interesting read, and in typical Bob Dylan style, it is not at all chronological. Martin Scorsese releases a film called No Direction Home, which focuses on Bob's life from when he leaves Minnesota until the motorcycle accident. In 2006, Bob became a disc jockey on XM radio with a program that he called Theme Time Radio Hour, which was very interesting because as a concept, it was actually something that I played with when I was a disc jockey back in the late 60s, early 70s, where on some of my shows I would pick a particular theme and that would be the concept for the show. I remember I did one on rain, and so all the songs were about rain. Well, here years later, Bob has the same idea. I'm not taking credit for it. I'm just going, it's an interesting coincidence. But Bob has the same idea. But his pick of songs were much more eclectic than mine ever was. He would pick songs all the way from the 1920s to the present day. Check it out. Listen to some of those shows. They're very, very entertaining and very informative. In 2006, Bob releases an album called Modern Times, and it goes right up to number 1. And that's the first time that that's happened since his album Desire, which was way back in 1975. The album kind of forms a trilogy with Time Out of Mind and Love and Theft. Great songs on Modern Times include Thunder on the Mountains, Spirit on the Water, Rolling and Tumbling, When the Deal Goes Down, and The Levee's Gonna Break. And then you get the closer, Ain't Talkin'. And Dylan is on a roll. In 2009, he releases an album called Together Through Life, and it goes to number 1, making Bob Dylan, at the age of 67, the oldest artist ever to have an album debut at number 1. Great songs on this record include Beyond Here Lies Nothing, Forgetful Heart, If You Ever Go to Houston, Jolene, Shake, Shake Mama, and It's All Good. Then, as typical of Bob Dylan, he surprises everybody when he releases a Christmas album. And the songs are just like you remember them as kids. He didn't really change them. The album debuts at number 1. Songs include the familiar Do You Hear What I Hear, Winter Wonderland, I'll Be Home for Christmas, Little Drummer Boy. And then there's a song that he did a hilarious music video for, which you should check it out. It's called Must Be Santa. It's pretty funny. There's also Silver Bells and A Little Town of Bethlehem. Royalties from this record went to charities in the US and UK. As usual, I've created a Spotify playlist. And here's the link, and I'll put it in the comments below so that you can listen to some of these Bob Dylan songs that I've been talking about. Another great decade of studio albums from Bob Dylan. The great Love and Theft, Modern Times, Together Through Life, and even a Christmas record. You never know what Bob Dylan is going to do next, but you know it'll be something. And that's what we're going to do in another episode coming up soon. We're going to look at what Bob Dylan does in the next decade that starts in 2010. So until then, thanks for watching and keep a rockin'.
If you liked this episode, hit the like button, and you can also leave me a comment down below, and I'll respond to you. If you subscribe, we'll let you know when future episodes come out.